So again, welcome. So my talk, I'm going to talk about first the BEE course distribution, which all of you are, I think, well versed of. The second one is the technical electives. What choices do you have? What groupings are there available? And then areas of specialization and career prospects. So when you talk about elective, well, it coincides with, like it or not, you have to think about what you want to work as after you graduate, yeah? And BE job placement and what you need to do after this. Okay, now, so this is the course distribution for the first and second year, which I believe most of you have passed these courses with colorful colors. Okay, so I don't think I need to go through them again. And this is the course distribution for the third and the fourth year, which I think some of you are still in the third year, and some of you is already in the, or going to be in your final year, yeah? So they are basically for BEE, there are 4 electives that you have to take. The first elective is in your 7th semester, and your second, third, and fourth you'll be taking in the 4th semester. Okay. Take note that your electives will be taken parallelly with your project 1, your capstone, and also project 2. So it is really important that you know how to divide your time, okay? So make sure that you really use your time efficiently and effectively. Now, the first group that BE offers is the communication, where under this group, these are 5 courses are offered under this group. We have applied telecom, optoelectronics, radio frequency or microwave, and data network architecture and electronics. So if you think that you want to go into communication line, then you can take these electives. Now under computing, there are advanced microprocessor, computer architecture, data network architecture and electronics, embedded system, image processing, computer control system. So under control, artificial intelligence and neural fuzzy, control system 2, control and drives, elements of mechatronics, introduction to robotics, power electronics, computer control system. I think the thing is, well, I think by now you should have the idea what you want to take, yeah? But I think the main point is, before you decide on taking the electives, I want you to imagine yourself in what environment you would like to work in at least 40 years of your life. Okay, so if you can imagine that you like to sit in front of a computer doing a network or something that deal with computing, then maybe you should consider taking the electives under the computing group. Okay, but if you like to go into communication, you like to work with mobile, yeah, you would like to work in DG company, which is so US type of company where you can wear jeans to the office and all that. So you might consider taking the courses under communication group. For control, the same thing. If you like control system, then that's a hint that maybe you should take the courses under the control group. Okay? So under microelectronics, we are offering VLSI design, analog IC design, embedded system and image processing. And last but not least is the power, where power we don't have groupings here, because it is already a group itself. Okay, so under power we are offering power electronics, control and drives, control system 2, electrical power system 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think you can find the list in your manual or in the portal lah, yeah, list of electives. Now, how many electives can you take? So I think all of you know this one. There are 4 electives that you have to take. But then, starting Sem 1, 15, 16, you are allowed to take as many electives as you want. and the CGPA will be counting 4 best electives as your CGPA. Okay, so if you think you want to try and error, you are not sure which group or major that you want to go into, so you are free to try by all means, okay? But the system will only take the best 4. Okay, but if you are thinking, so next sem is your sem 2. Okay, next sem is your sem 2. This system will only be implemented in sem 1, 15, 16. Okay, so if you are taking your electives next sem, the way your CGPA will be calculated as usual, as how it is today. Okay, but until next year, next academic year, then you are allowed to take as many as you want. And the CGPA will only take account the best 4 electives. Okay? For next semester, you have to still go through the whole process lah. Now, in which area will you be registered in BEM? As BEE students, by default, you'll be registered under electronics engineers. Okay, but there are some students who, at the end of the day, they think that they prefer to work in a power plant or deal with power stuff rather than electronic stuff, and they want to register as electrical engineer instead. Well, you can still do that, okay, but but you have to decide now lah. I mean, if you decided later after graduate, then it's a different process. But if now, you can take electrical power system 2 and also power electronics. If you take these 2 electives in your final year, then inshallah, if you graduate, you can register under, you are eligible to register under electrical engineer. So you have a choice lah, basically, whether you want to register as electronics or electrical engineer. Okay, so you have more options, but of course you have to top up these 2 courses. Yeah. Okay. Now these are the types of companies that at least I hope will trigger you if you take communication in what kind of company that you can work with, where you can send your resume later on. So if you decide to take the communication electives grouping, then you have a choice to work in DG, Maxis, TM, Cellcom, Cisco, Alcatel, Huawei, and Motorola. If you decide to choose the electives from the computing grouping, then you can work in Dell, HP, Seagate, Fujitsu, Oracle, Apple, and Fujitsu another time. Okay. And if you decide to take the electives under microelectronics, then you can work in Intel, which is a cool company, Texas Instruments, Freescale, Alps, AMD, Sony, and Cypress. If you decide to take the electives under control, so you can work in Alstom, Schlumberger, Sun, Exxon, Shell, okay, which is apa sekarang? Power company lah, yang minyak-minyak tu semua kan, oil and gas company. And of course power, if you take power, TNB, ABB, AHE, Ingress, and GE. Okay, so this is, I hope this at least can give you a glimpse now if you take this kind of grouping in what company that you can work with. Okay, so maybe you know where you want to work, but you don't know where to suit your resume too. Okay, so let's say you like to work in DG, but you don't know what is the best electives that you should take. So I hope this will be at least some guidance to you lah. Now, as for now, the EE, this is 2012 punya percentage. The BEE secured 86% being employed, which is 3 months after completing their final year, which is some of them not yet graduating, I mean not yet received their scroll, but after they finish their final year, so they've already been working lah, 86%, which is, we are proud of it, we are proud of the percentage, so we hope that you also fall within this 86% group. So what do you need to do? Now, first of all, like it or not, you have to improve your CGPA. Okay, because you can say that, well, I'm from UNITEN, people will take me no matter what, UNITEN has a name, you can say all that, but at the end of the day, you have to face the fact that you will be competing with many universities outside there, okay? And before you can go into the interview room, the only thing that your future company will see is your resume. And on that resume is your CGPA and your curriculum activities. Okay, so this is the time, the best time for you to improve your resume. Make sure that you get the best CGPA as high as you can, and make sure that you're involved with good and active curriculum activities. Yeah, good meaning that especially the one provided by the university lah, not to say clubbing and all that lah. Yeah, that is also kind of activities, but that won't be put in your resume. Okay. So please make sure that you have to be prepared. Like it or not, they will just have to see your resume. Once they are impressed with your resume, then only you are selected to be the interview room, then only you can sell yourself. Okay, you can defend yourself, you can say why you are good compared to others. That's only the way. Okay? And Second, like I said just now, imagine which kind of environment that you would like to work in. Okay? So right now, you just go to class, and after you finish your class, you go back to your room or your house, and then you can't imagine, what am I doing here? Okay, what am I doing in my life? Okay, what am I doing here? Why did I study in UNITEN? Why did I register for engineering? Why did I do that? Okay? So yeah, there are a lot of questions why. Okay, but the thing is, the past is past. You have decided it, it's your fate. What you can do about it is you determine what you want to do next. Okay? So you might not know what electives you are going to take. You might not know in which company that you want to work in, but at least I hope you can imagine that you should know yourself. You can imagine that which kind of environment that you would like to work in. If you would like to work in a cool company with US kind of base, then look for that company and which electives or subjects that they will look into. If you like to go offshore, then you know that it is oil and gas company. Okay, so which electives that is suitable for you to pick on. Okay, if you like to do networking and all that, so you know which company you can go into, and then decide which electives that you are going to take. So like it or not, you are an engineer students, you're already in third year, so congratulations for that, just a little bit more to go, okay? So, the past is past, but you still have time to decide for your future, okay? So do it wisely. The third one, this is another thing that you can do. Maybe you can look at your transcripts. You might not know, I don't even know what I like. Okay, some students come and tell me, macam mana ma'am, saya tak tahu apa saya nak ni. I don't know what I like, I don't know what I want. In that case, then maybe you can look back at your transcripts and see which area of subjects that you have scored in the past 2 years. Maybe that can give you a hint. Okay, so if you pass the electronics courses, then maybe you are fated to be in the microelectronics group, for example. Okay? And then after you have done all that, then you have to decide for your electives. Okay? But whatever it is, whatever you do, the decision is yours. It's not on us, it's not on your parents, it's not on your friends, okay? Remember that you'll be spending at least 40 years of your life after this based on the electives that you are deciding now. Okay, so it's not a simple matter, it's an important matter. So, with that, question and answer? Do you have any questions? Yes, please.
Okay, I want to ask about if we are taking one subject from the computer elective and another subject from the power. Is it okay or what?
Yes, it's okay. We still allow you to do that.
Then what happened in our career?
Ah.
Kari.
Our advice is for you to be in that role, so that when people look at your resume, they know that you are specialized in something. But then there's no harm in trying to jumble up, and you can try lah. No harm, because our students already, I mean, a lot of students even jumble up their electives and still be able to work.
So what is the difference between
What is the difference between?
electrical and elective?
Okay, electronics engineering under BEM, Board of Engineers. You will be registered under electronics engineer. Okay, you still get the IR, kan? Okay. But for electrical engineer, dia ada specialization lah. Dia ada specialization dia. Maksudnya if you want to work macam dalam TNB, they look into the electrical engineers, not on the electronics engineering. So since they are looking into the electrical engineer, they deal with power plant, they deal with big transformers and capacitors and power station and all that. So you need to be specialized in that area. For you to be specialized in that area, then you need to take the electives lah. Then you need to equip yourself with the right knowledge. That's all. So at the end of the day, it depends on your interest, whether your interest is in EP or your interest is in EE. For EP, rasanya you have no choice lah. You cannot take EE lah. You have to go through EP. For EE, you still have choice.
Just want to maybe add or clarify that a bit. Once you are registered with BM, you're actually just a graduate engineer. So you are not given the title of IR. IR is a professional engineer. Yeah, so I mean, you have to earn that. You have to work for 3-4 years. Okay, go for the exam, interview. Then only you are certified as a professional engineer. And then you are perhaps given a title IR. So it doesn't matter whether IR in electronics or electrical. The huge difference in industry is, if you are electronics, nobody really want an IR because you are not signing. You don't have the power to sign. Okay, all the electrical supply installation need an electrical engineer. Okay, only electrical engineer have the power to sign, authority to sign. Okay, so same with mechanical, civil engineer. Okay, those are the able to sign. Okay, so the sign is very worth money lah. Every signature you give 1,000, 2,000, whatever. Okay, so the value is there. For electronics, the reason being is the voltage is very low. You deal with like 5 volt, 3.5 volt. Not really killing people. You don't kill people that way. You can kill with current, but then yes. So you are IR, but you don't have the ability to sign and approve plan, all this. Okay. So that's the difference I would like to clarify. So if you should know actually this thing, you should go and find out. Okay, what you want to which path you want to go. Okay, or if you want to become a professional engineer, how best can you actually pursue that path? Okay. Any other questions on this? So for EE student, if you want, sometimes because your sponsor asks you to become electrical, so make sure you're going to take power system 2 and also power electronics. So they look at the courses that you have taken. They look at your transcript. So if you do not have control and drive, if you know electrical machine, okay, you don't have power electronics, you don't have power system 2, then they will categorize you as electronics. Okay, right.
Any other questions? I hope that's clear.
AMD
So the IR to not after you graduate you automatically get IR. No, it's another step that you have to take lah. Yeah. But the journey starts from here. You have to plan from now.
Tapi dia kata ambil banyak-banyak tak apa kan.
Clear?
Yes,
please.
Ya, betul tak?
Banyak boleh tapi dia ambil part juga baik kau fokus yang
Nuklear memang mechanical lah.
What actually is offered? I think most of it is being offered kan? Electives, like usually electives.
I thought
So again, check the portal, check the online system, because not all the elective going to be offered. So So it's very important for you to decide, like, I want to take these 4 or 5 elective. Check whether there are any prerequisites that you need to take. Like for example, some of you might want to take electrical safety and hazard for some reason. Okay, so, but now the elective is power system 2, the prerequisite, sorry. The prerequisite for electrical hazard is going to be power system 2. So for EE student, you have not taken power system 2. So you need to take power system 2 first, then only you can take. So maybe electrical safety and hazard is only offered every year, not every semester. Then you have to plan properly. Okay, so make sure you take the power system 2 right next semester, and hopefully the semester after that, you can take electrical safety and hazard. Okay, so plan accordingly. Look at the prerequisite. Look at sometimes some of the courses are offered only once every 2 years. Embedded system, for example. Okay, it depends on the availability of the staff. Okay, the expertise needs to be there. The expert needs to be there. So sometimes he's not available for that particular year. Okay.
Any other questions?